So hello guys again. I'm back, and this is where we stopped our uh, exterior modeling, and let's continue from here. So previous class I made this object into a single object, and this one is also single, and this part is also single. So this is where we end up, and now we'll start the rest. So now I'm thinking of building this block, and here one thing, if we observe everything of same pattern we got, everything is the same. So here I have to just take this part and just place there, and keep on giving some uh, duplicates of that. So it's quite little less work, less effort for me. Now I'll select this, and okay, and just for a moment. Yeah, so I'll go to the faces, top view, select all these faces, and deselect this. I don't want them, I only want this side. Okay, so come out of that isolation, and hold shift and duplicate face, and reset, duplicate face, and I'm just moving that. Oh, there is some problem. All right, select this. Press 4, modify center pivot. I'll just move, press 5. Okay, so once I would like to check this mesh key faces together is on, so no problem. Press 3, so no issues. Yeah, no issues. Now press 4 and just, first of all, I want to place him at back on this position. Go to the top view and press F for your final move here. And what I would like to do is I'll go with the pivot point dv to this, and I will move this one to this side. Press 5. Once I will select this, and I'll just isolate them both so that it'll be very easy for me. Now press 4 and check, and snap to this, and in this position snap to this. Press F. I'm just checking on. Okay, so here we are trying to match this part. All right, from the very beginning I started matching only this part, right? Because why I'm matching that part is, if you observe on your side angle, here this part is maximum inward, right? So I have to match a part which is completely maximum inward, and also connected to other side of the wall. So this is connected and maximum inward. If I watch in the side view, see here, yes, I got this here, but this is maximum inward. So that's the reason I am making this point to meet. Fine. Now press, go to out of the isolation mode, and just checking on. All right, so this part is matching more. So no need of this. I'll just delete that part because we are going to make this. Now go to front view, press 4 and just check on. All right. Uh, let's start this thing from here. That would be good. So one thing we have to remember, we cannot match this camera angle because it's looking like slanted way. So we cannot match. We will only be matching front part, right? So we have to try to match only the front part. How much width it is, that's what I'm matching. The remaining rest of the thing will be with our sensors. That's all. So in this, what I'm going to do is I'll go with the vertices which are in between them. So I have to arrange them in such a way that I can make 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So one thing I have to understand that here two pillars are there. Here also two pillars, means this width and this width is equal. So there is no need for me to disturb this one because here we want two pillars, right? We are going to take these two pillars and we'll be placing here. So same two pillars will be coming there, and here this distance and this distance will be equal, and ikkada nunchi again it changed into one pillar. So that thing we have to see. I'll go here and I'll just go to the scale tool and snap scale on, and I'll just snap it into one way, and I'll just pull him towards there. Now I'll do definitely uh, center pivot first of all. Next I'll go to the top view. Yeah, I'll go with the perspective. So I'll try to simply place this one DV to this. Yeah. Now front view, Control D. I took another copy and go to these vertices which are at the edge, scale tool, and scale them into one and just bring him there. Now DV to this side and snap him to this one. So here what do you say? Here I got one gap, right? So I have to fill that one. You see, press 5 and check it, right? So here in between we got only very small gap, not like this one. It has double the size of gap, and here only one single pillar size of gap is there. So that's how we are going to measure. One single pillar gap only should be there here. So we'll take one pillar as a reference, and then we'll go with that. So Control D, and I'm taking one pillar as a reference. I'll place him. I'll just simply go to the center pivot and just I'll place him in between this one. Right. So here edge I'll be placing. Press 4, DV to this point and snap him to this corner, this part exactly. So that is the size of our pillar. Our pillar size is matching or not, that's what I'm checking. I'll take him down once and I'll try to match this size, whether it's matching or not. It's kind of little, has a little more this thing, all right. Okay, so we have to take this part. So that's the reason the size is a little big. So I'll select and I'll go with the face. And select this one and pull it and match the down part, and select this one and pull it and match that down part. So this is actual the size what we are going to consider. And yeah, I believe again I have to share my screen. All right, so I'm just taking him and checking whether the size of this one is equal. I have to check with this one more. Yeah, it's still not equal. So again, I'm going with the vertex, select the vertex and pull him. Yes. And select this object, and now just to check once. All right, so this is equivalent to size of this one, this part, right? So that's the reason what he was taking. So I'll take Control D as this one and modify center pivot, and I'll duplicate this copy. Now this size will, I think, matches there. Yes, it's matching. See, so that is the size what we have to think on. And snap scale off, I'll scale it little bigger. I'll go with the check. All right, so select this one and DV to this edge and snap him to this edge. Now this is the size of our this point, this part. All right, so I'll select I'll do one thing. I'll simply select the edge and edge ring and split, and I'll make this a little more easy for me. Now I'll select this one. What will I do is I'll go with the vertices, select all the vertices and snap the vertices to this center. So I snap them. That is first thing I did. And second thing, snap this one to also to the center. And third thing, I'll select whole vertices and DV. Here one thing I am going to observe. Press F. All right. All right. Front view. Press 4. So DV to this point, and I'll snap him to this point. Fine. Now if you see, my size of the pillar, I gave the gap of the pillar in the same. This is what it is. Press 5, 4. So same thing repeats and repeats. Even in this part also, I'll take him and snap him to this point and select all the vertices at the edge, snap tool on and snapping him to center of this. That is done, and now again I'll make a duplicate of this, Control D, and I'll snap him to center again. Yes, I got this. Now 1, so 2, press 5 and check. You got 1, 2, 3, and you want 4 and 5. So Control D and snap him to point, press 5, press 4, press 5 and check. Yeah. Now press 4 and just have a look once. And we need one more. So I'll take one more. Control, I'll just check once. Yeah. Control D, press 5. Here, one thing we have to observe, there is a small thing. Now, press 4. Go to this side. Here again, you got 2 pillars. Here, we don't know whether it is a 2 pillars or 1 pillar, this inside part. So that's up to us, whether you want to go with a 1 pillar or 2 pillar. So I'm selecting this whole bunch once again, and I'll move them aside. I'll take him and I'll snap him to this one, and my middle mouse button is not working properly. So that's the reason it's taking too much time. Okay. Press 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Totally we got 5. Including this. Sorry, this, and this. So if you move this a little bit inside, yeah. Now you know your size is getting a little increased because we were squeezing this thing a lot, right? So here, once building this thing is made on this basis, we are trying to make this one. That's the reason we have to use our mind. Okay, so no problem. This is good, and there is also a small problem. If you see the building, right, just for a moment. If you go and I don't know, middle mouse is not working. I had to change my mouse. If you see in middle portion, and if you see this portion, there is quite a little more extra space for this, the middle part, right? So we cannot compare with this also because it's more than this. It has I think now if we go with the pillar size, so one pillar, two pillar, three pillar, 4, 5, and this one 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's more than 5. So we'll do that also. Plus 5. I'll simply delete this one. There is no need of this, I think. So now again take one duplicate copy, Control D, and I'll just make him center pivot. Front view and plus 4. Yeah, plus 5. So this is our center. For DV to this point and snap him to this point, plus 5. Now Shift D to this point, Shift D, Shift D, Shift D. All right. Press 5. So totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll select them all and move to the back. I'm just trying to give Shift D, press 4 and snap him to this, press 5. Here that was extra pillar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So select this, press 5. Okay. And Shift D, press 4 and snap to this, press 5. Okay. Now I'm just trying to figure out which part should be extended. So I have to move this one into, a little more gap. Here to here gap is less, and here we got a little more gap, extra gap of this one, and this one is extra. So the arc what you're watching here, we got that gap extra. Everything is quite same, so we have to move this one entirely. And also watch here, press 4 and check this side. This top portion is okay. We'll do this small part and we'll move this little more. This one and this one means one more pillar extra. Half pillar, half pillar. And down part I'm just watching. This is same. So we have less issues on that. And this shape and this one is same. Just this arc is okay. That we have to change. The shape of this door is also same. But here the internal part is been extended. That's all. So this is what we learned from that point. So press 5 and now let's take our calculation to another level. I'll simply delete, 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 and I'll take him as a reference and I'll split him into half. All right, and again I'll place him here. So I need that extra line, right? So press 4. Edging and split. Now modify center pivot and snap him to the center, and now snap him to this edge of this one. So I have to move this extra this much this side, and the other side also. Control D. I'll take him there, and one more Control D, and I'll simply do center pivot and snap him to this center and select him, snap this to this. Now I'm snapping to this. So this portion half part, this half part, and in this half, this half I have to extend, right? So select this and this so that we don't have any other confusion. I'll just move that side. Now what portion I have to select and how I have to make that into half. So what portion should I select and how should I move? This is one point. Select this and this, and we'll try to understand the lines. So this line is not matching. And first of all, we have to match that thing over there. I have to increase this part a little more. So I'll do one thing. I'll move this, press 4, and just trying to figure out. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll take edge ring and split here. This one hasn't splitted. There is some problem if this doesn't happen. Edge ring and split. Oh, there is some problem here. We have to sort that out. I believe there is a face over there. See, we missed that. We missed a face here. Shouldn't have missed. one thing. Let us remove this edge loop and delete. And select this face, delete, select. This face and delete. Now